Hello and welcome to MagicGatheringStrat. I'm Binkabi and this will be a Vintage Masters Swiss draft. The 8-4 wouldn't fire, so here we are. So we have a Badlands. They're not that expensive. I think you could do better. So the two best cards in this pack is, or three best cards is Imperial Armor, Hymn to Torok and Battle Screech. And I would always take Battle Screech over Imperial Armor, I think, since it's so easy to bounce or kill the one with the armor on. Hymn is really good and I like the black deck, but I'd prefer the white if I had to choose. And yeah, I'm not sure if the white will be open, but white was pretty open last time Vintage Masters was around, so we will see. Alright, a very interesting pack here. We have Flametongue Kavu, which I think I would take. Prophetic Bolt is really strong. Billback Chief is also very strong. I don't hate the bodyguards. I would love to have one. Expunge is good too. But I think I will take the Flametongue just because it's so powerful and we are not locked into white just by one card. And it's so much better than the bodyguard, so we could take Billback Chief, but if I want to take a red 4-drop, I think I'd go with the Kavu instead. Maybe we can go Astral Slide or something. Okay, well this is a pack. Blastoderm is very strong. Fires of Yavimaya is one of my favorite cards from the set, and it goes very well with Flametongue Kavu. Piana is good. I like her a lot. Stupid scroll. But I think I'd rather have a Sultari Trooper first. Piana is more powerful, but Sultari Trooper is a 2-drop and therefore much more valuable to me. So either we could take one of the white cards and go white-red, or we could take the fires and go green-red, which is also a pretty good spot to be in, I think. I'm not really sure what I want to do, but I think the Trooper is my pick. I like to play white with a little bit of red for the reach. Alright, the Solar Blast is pretty good. Once again, we have a good 2-drop here in the Trapper, but it's not a very beatdownish 2-drop, so I'm gonna ship it along. If we would have taken the fires, we would have taken Solar Blast here anyway. If we would have taken the Piana, I think Solar Blast would have been a pick from this pack. Pretty much whatever. It's a removal or a removal that replaces itself, so it's very good. Wouldn't fault anyone from taking the 2-drop or the 1-drop. I would love a bodyguard at some point, but Solar Blast is so powerful. Perfect, another Trooper. This is going fantastic at the moment. Remember the Tangles, they're very strong. If they represent one, they might have one, so don't walk into it. Another Expunge pretty late. I'm not too happy to see that, but Battle Screech is pretty good against Expunge. Animate Dead, also a card to remember. That's a very late Predatory Night Stalker and a pretty late Manowar, and I guess a lot of pretty late cards. Chimeric Idol is good. He's very strong, actually. I don't hate Exile, but not at this point. I'd rather take a good creature. Finhorn Elves is good, would have been perfect with the fires, but I'm not dissatisfied with where we are. Mistmoon Griffin you can pick up. I'm thinking about the Reckless Charge. It's very strong, but I usually go late. I think I'm gonna pick the Chimeric Idol. It's very good. You play it, and then you go like Battle Screech on turn 4 and then attack with a 3/3. It's just very good. Dodge Sorcerer Speed removal for what it's worth. Let's see where we are. Alright. Here we go. Secluded Step is fine. Mistmoon Griffin I like, but we already have a couple of 4-drops. I think this is a perfect time to take a land. I do like 1 or 2 cycling lands in my aggressive decks. because flooding is so bad. This is interesting. I don't really like any of the cards. Aftershock is very clunky. Radiant Judgment is basically the same, but it's instant, so I think I'm gonna pick that, but I'm gonna have it in the sideboard. It is okay to main deck because it has cycle, or cycling, but I'd start off there. So what do we want? More 2-drops basically. We want some Harriers and more Saltire Troopers, Reckless Charge, Chain Lightnings. That's the stuff we're looking for. I guess we could take a Bassandra. It's not unreasonable if we open an Astral Slide to go that deck. We have Flametongue Kavu and 3 Cyclers so far, and some good aggressive cards, so it's not ruled out yet. But I prefer to go aggressive in Vintage Masters, actually, if I want to win, I should say. Otherwise I really like the dirtly controlish decks, but I've had much more success with the aggressive decks. So this is the one that is slow, or both, I guess. Yeah, so I played somewhere around 50 Vintage Masters drafts, and I won, I guess, like 35 or something. It's ridiculously high. So I do like Flowstone Hellion, actually, as the top of my curve. He bashes in for 5, no problem. But I do like the Secluded Step too, but I think I can take the Hellion here. I won't be that sad if I only get 1 cycling land. And yes, the Hellion is replaceable, but he is actually pretty good. Shelter, Gilded Light, land. Forgotten Cave. I do like a Gilded Light in the board. Shelter is also pretty good. I'm gonna pick the land just in case. I'm not sure if I will run it. Hulking Goblin is fine. Not sure if I will play him or not. We will see. I like my 2-drops to be in the same color if possible. But the white has dried up a bit, which is pretty interesting, but we will see. We got a Battle Screech, that's fine. It would be nice if the charge wheeled, but I'm not getting my hopes up. The curve of turn 2 Trooper, turn 3 Trooper, and Reckless Charge is very powerful. It's a really fast clock. Alright, the Bodyguard is perfect. I really like him. Just because he's a decent 1-drop, and then he protects your evasive 2-drops and stuff. Yeah, I will take another Hulking Goblin. I'd rather have a Wall of Diffusion, and also it won't be played against my shadow creatures, so it's also something to remember. I don't really like the duals. Oh, Tangle, last pick, right? In an aggressive deck, but I guess they're fine. So a decent start. We got Battle Screech, Flametongue Kavu, Solar Blast, Saltire Troopers. I would like some Chain Lightnings, more Battle Screechers, Soul Ring. Pretty hard to argue with Soul Ring. It's just like one of the most powerful cards ever printed anywhere. If it wasn't here, I would probably take Kindle at this point. Elite is okay if you have something to put on it, but we didn't take the Imperial Armor, so... And Drill Sergeant is good, but not in this deck, but we will happily take a Soul Ring. Turn 1 Soul Ring, turn 2 Battle Screech, turn 3 Flowstone Hellion. Oh, wow, that's okay. It's not the most broken thing you can do, but I guess it's fine. Ooh, here we got some cards. Nothing over here, but Ringleader would have been awesome if we were goblins. Archangel is fine. Starstorm is not really for this deck though. Either we take the Archangel or another Flowstone Heliod. We could also take the Chartreuse Cougar. I think I want to take the Angel here. It goes well with Battle Screech and it's a pretty good Curve Topper too. Now we don't need more over here, I don't think. Here we have another duel, a Goblin Matron, but we have a 2-drop that is actually pretty good. It's not a Wild Mongrel, but it will do. It serves its purpose. So I would be happy if we could cut the Hulking Goblins and just play 4 or 5 red cards. But that all depends on what we pick up, of course. Yeah, Sol Ring is extremely powerful. Just to go turn 1 Sol Ring, turn 2 Troopers or something is... that's just game breaking right there. Right, interesting. We have a lot of goodies here. Sphere of Resistance is not horrible, but I don't think we want it at the moment. Death Grasp could be good as a splash. And then we have a Drill Sergeant. We also have a Theros Faithful if we wanna hedge for the Astral Slide deck. But I think since we don't even have Astral Slide, that's not good. I'd rather have a Drill Sergeant and the Hulking Goblins, I think. Maybe for the Goblins wheel we can transform into that, but I still think the 2-drop is better. Alright, I was going to say, well, we could actually go Goblins. It's a lot of Goblins. And a Breath of Life, but Solitaire Trooper is my man. He is just so powerful. An unblockable 2/2 is for 2 is so good. There's a Piano. It's also Spark Spray, which is pretty good. But Piano is just what I'm looking for here. That's also something. It's a legendary, so you don't even want to. Interesting, interesting. Late Akomiba. Exile could be good. We don't have that many removals, but I don't think we will need them. Goblin Patrol is good, but it's red. I think you'll pick up the charge here because I really want one. I think they're really good in a deck like this. Floodplain, Mist Moon or a Spark Spray. Interesting. I think I'll take the Mist Moon Griffin. Kindle Wheel? Well, it was a decent pack, I guess, but I will gladly pick up a Kindle here. Can move the lands over here. Chartooth or Deathblade? We still don't have anything that goes with the Deathblade Elite. No, I'm gonna pick the Cougar, he's good. There's a Secluded Step. Now we have our Cyclers. Still don't have any Chain Lightnings. I really want some more reach. We have a Kindle, a Solar Blast. That's about it. Because if the opponent stabilizes, you kinda need that last point of burn. I guess we have Flowstone Heliod and Reckless Charge and 3 Solitaire Troopers, so it's not horrible, but yeah. Paralyze or Tangle? I guess I'd rather put out the Tangle. Tangle is such a pain to play against. And that's the nice thing with Chartooth Cougar and the Cyclers. They cost a lot, but you can use them early to get a land, and if you flood out, he's a decent 6-drop. I mean, it's not fantastic, but it's still a 4/4 with 5 breeding. When you flood out, you don't really care about what the creature costs. Today this could easily be like 4 mana. Breath of Life Wheels. I'm gonna... Yeah, sure, I'm gonna pick it. Can cycle this and revive it. Not sure if we will start it. I wanna have a lot of things down here on 1, 2, 3 if I can. We're lacking 3 drops at the moment. So it would be the best to open. Black Lotus probably. That would be nice. So I've opened 1 Black Lotus, 1 Ancestral Recall, 1 regular and 1 foil Time Walk, and 2 Time Twisters. So I guess I'm pretty pleased so far. This is really interesting. We have a World Gordy Dragon. I don't think we can play it. I mean, it's okay. It's really big and stuff, but I want to be more aggressive. So I'm looking at Imperial Armor and Solitary Emissary. And the problem I have right now is the Famine is so good against me. I think you'll take the armor here. We have a decent amount of 2 drops, and armor is a very high reward card. Another interesting pick. Glaciers is not for this deck, but we have Goblin General is okay. Renewed Faith, which I actually like a lot. But the cards I'm looking at is Solar Blast and Solitary Emissary. It would be nice to cut some goblins, but Solar Blast is so good. I'm gonna pick it up. So I'm looking for 2 more playables if possible. Really, goblins were so open. Too bad. It's a really good deck. Suchi is nice. We can have it on turn 2. But there is an emissary. An emissary is good. It will be rare that we can use the mana. We have no Kervex Torch either, that's too bad. I'm gonna pick the emissary. I want more 2 drops. Alright, here we can take the sideboard Gilded Light. We haven't seen many Storm cards, so someone is probably playing that. But I'm fine picking up a Trapper here. So we got a lot of 2 drops, which is good. That's the place I want to be. The next card I pick up will replace Hulking Goblin and then another Hulking Goblin. Then the cuts gets tougher. I think 16 lands is okay here. Maybe we want 17 actually. We got some big stuff. Yeah, 17 is probably fine. Yeah, I'm kind of liking this deck so far. It would be better with more troopers and less hulking goblins, but not much we can do about that. Alright, another interesting pick. Though the Squadron is nice. Mystic Zealot is also pretty good. Wouldn't mind a Falter, but I'm looking at these 3. Reckless Charge is still pretty good. The Noble Templar is also good, but so is Shelter. Very interesting. Shelter is good because it could be target creature gains unblockable also. Noble Templar makes the deck more consistent. Yeah, I'm gonna pick up Noble Templar. Up my curve a bit. Here we don't have anything at all, so I'm gonna pick out a card that is worse for me, and I think that's Elephant Guide. It's a very good card. Only 1 Battle Screech, that's too bad. Alright, let's see here. Devout Witness is not very good. None of those cards is really what I'm looking for. The Elite is more appealing now when we have the Imperial Armor. I'm gonna pick a devout witness for the board. We don't have any artifact or enchantment destruction. This is still a very strong pack. Dark Hatchling, Circular Logic, Ophidian, top the squadron. We will pick the shelter here, I think. Maybe for the board, I'm not sure where we will place it. We could cut, yeah, maybe we could cut the Drill Sergeant. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, I think that's okay. Sure, we can cut out another Tangle. Renewed Faith or Forgotten Cave. I like Faith because it could throw someone's math off. Late Wild Mongrel. Do we need a cave? I don't think we'll play it. Sure, we'll pick the Renewed Faith. Yeah, I'll pick an Aftershock too. Oh good, we got a Gilded Light. Another Shelter or a Falter. I'm gonna pick a Shelter. I don't think we need the Falter effect. We got plenty of evasion in the flying and shadow and stuff. Yeah, I really like to have a Gilded Light in my board if I'm white because of the Storm decks. Usually you can force them to go off at a stage where they might fizzle, but if they don't, they have to go for it and then you can Gilded Light. Alright, let's see. We got some shelters. Yeah, that's about it. We have to cut a card at least. We got 14 creatures. But that's not really true. Because this is a creature and this is a creature. So we got 16 creatures and 8 spells. And I kinda like all our spells, I think. Guess we could play 16 lands. Then we kinda have to draw Sol Ring. So what do we have? We have Secluded Steps. I don't think I'll run the Scablands. It's not worth it. We got more 2-drops, Gilded Light. So yeah, I think 17 lands is correct. So we're gonna cut a card and I'm looking at the Cougar first, I think. Not cutting anything here, not here either. Yeah, I think it's Cougar. He's good, but not good enough. What the murder says. 5/12. 5 mountains. I guess the Cougar could be better than the Templar just because it fetches a mountain. Yeah, that might be right. Have him more as a mana fixer. Yeah, that seems correct. Still 12/5. Yeah, I actually think that's okay. Cut 2 planes for the Secluded Steps. So we got plenty of white for our heavy white cards. We got some reach and removal, 2 shelters, and a bodyguard to protect our threats. Pretty good with the Imperial armor. Yeah, I think this is fine. I'll see you shortly for game 1.